flight ends in tragedy.
The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport.
This crater is where a medical jet's short flight ended.
Mate, there are so many people concerned and worried and so many questions about what is going on in the skies. Why are planes just falling out of the sky, crashing into one another? All these things. We're going to talk mainly about the Washington, D.C. situation that happened, okay, with the Black Hawk and the airplane colliding. There's so many questions, so many weird things going on about that, all right? But it's just so odd. I want to give you a brief overview of what's been happening just in the month of January. Okay? We've had 10 crashes. 10 crashes of airplanes. The first one was in January 2nd. Alright? That was Fullerton Airport in the USA. A Vans RV-10 crashed onto a commercial building. Both pilots were killed and 19 individuals were inside the building. They were injured. Okay, here's the video, just quickly.
And Eyewitness News at 4 with breaking news we've been following for about an hour now. A small plane crashed into a building in Orange County, leaving one person dead and 15 others hurt.
This is happening near the Fullerton Airport, and Chris Christie is live overhead in Air 7 with the very latest. Chris?
Yeah, that's right. You can see the aftermath of that plane crash. A small four-seater aircraft, a Vans RV-10, a kit aircraft, crashing into the roof of this warehouse, apparently a furniture warehouse here in Fullerton along Raymer Avenue at the end of Fullerton Airport's runway.
And Eyewitness News at...
So January 7th, right? We've got Western Australia. So January 7th in Western Australia. 3 fatalities reported, okay?
A pilot and 2 tourists have been killed when their seaplane plunged into waters off Rottnest Island in WA.
A scenic flight ends in tragedy.
It is my sad duty to confirm that 3 lives were lost when a seaplane crashed moments after takeoff at Thompson Bay.
The disaster unfolded in waters off popular WA tourism hotspot Rottnest Island around 4 yesterday afternoon, as horrified onlookers watched on.
Absolutely terrible. We've got another one in Colombia, like the next day, right? 10 fatalities. January 9th in Brazil, 1 fatality. January 15th, Iran, resulting in 3 fatalities. January 19th, near Mount Jefferson, Nevada, USA, PA-32 crashed. The next day, January 20th, in Chile. No fatalities, thank the Lord, on that one, okay? January 29th. Now, this was the one where 67 individuals on board the aircraft perished. Okay, because of a Black Hawk helicopter collided with it. I've got footage of that. We're going to go over in a second. But then the same day in Sudan, 21 people were killed in a crash of a 5X RHB. The most recent one, January 31st, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a Learjet 55 air ambulance crashed shortly after takeoff from Northwest Philadelphia Airport, impacting a busy street. All 6 occupants on board and 1 person on the ground were killed. This is absolutely terrible, right? I've actually got some footage, if you want to see it, of this one in Philadelphia. It's absolutely terrible.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh my God! Oh my God!
It's just...
That's a plane, bro! That's a plane! I caught that on camera! Yo! Yo! Allahu Akbar! Yo! 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 Oh my God! La ilaha illallah! 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 Oh my God!
Oh, the kids.
What the hell? Yo! Oh my God! Allahu Akbar!
It's absolutely terrible, man. Absolutely terrible.
A devastating point of impact. This crater is where a medical jet's short flight ended, killing 6 on board, a driver nearby, and launching debris 5 blocks away. Mexico's president confirmed all on board the jet were from her country. One, a child who'd just finished medical treatment in the United States and was headed home. Mother of 2, Iram, brought flowers for the crash site. She didn't know the victims, but knows what they'd been going through.
My son is also like receiving the treatment from CHOP, you know, and
I don't know whether it's too soon or something, but hasn't every single aeroplane got a what they call a black box that records every single bit of audio? What do we know what happened yet? I've looked. I can't see what's happened yet. No, there's no information. This is all we've got.
I feel their pain.
19 others were injured when the Learjet speared into a mall car park at around 400 kilometres an hour.
It sounds like a missile, and it's a crash I'd never heard before. I saw the shrapnel flying around.
It's not yet clear what caused the small jet to crash less than 1 minute into the 3-hour flight to Missouri on its way to Mexico.
And we are still looking for the cockpit voice recorder.
Okay.
We have located the 2 engines.
Transport safety investigators are at their 2nd plane crash in a week. In Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., no survivors. There are more than 45,000 flights each day across the United States. With 2 fatal crashes now in less than a week, people here are asking how.
These guys here on this clip are lucky to be alive. Look how close they were. The noise of this, what happened.
And, yep.
Oh, move! Michael, move! Move! We can't reflect it.
Oh, God.
I'm calling 911.
Gee, mate, oh my God. Like, you know, this is exactly why people say only in America, because it just seems like, I mean, obviously, we've got footage of this there now, and I've just listed off a whole load of other locations where, like, you know, these planes are going down in Australia, Iran, and all these sort of things, right? But it is like something out of a movie. Also, at this location of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, there was 2 UFOs spotted. And I know that's sort of like a separate video, but I still need to show you because this is just wild. Thanks to the person that emailed me this, Mike. I'm just going to call you Mike because I don't know if you know. So I don't know if you want me to say your name, but look at this. Somebody spotted on the live coverage a UFO. Check this out.
Short of a UAP in Philadelphia, and there was 2 of them, and I couldn't find the first one I saw. And I went back on their broadcast, and here it is. Watch up here.
And just almost
right there,
just exploded.
Look at that thing.
Is that what you witnessed?
What's
Look
that?
At how that moves, man.
The actual incident of what had happened, I only noticed it on the ground. I was about 25 minutes away from when the
mate, that like teleported. It went did. Look.
Actual incident of what had happened, I only noticed it on the ground. I was about 25 minutes away.
Then a few minutes later, if you'll look at my other short, another one comes from here and goes down almost in the same area.
Okay, let's have a little look, mate.
A UAP.
Look.
There's a UAP in this live footage of that Fox is running right now. Let me show you. Watch right here. Watch this thing. Nobody's saying nothing about it. See it going down? Now watch what it does.
I'm sure that just blinked up and straight back down again. Am I just...
saying nothing about it. See it going down? Now watch what it does.
It just went...
Down, now watch what it does. There it is still. Look at that. Look at the movements. That is the second one I've seen. The second one, just like that.
Mate, so strange. But thank you so much for sending me that. It does always seem like whenever there's like these disasters, these UAPs are around, they're watching, or I don't know, man, but it's strange. But anyway, so let's go over now to the Washington, D.C., right? Because this is the one we've got so many question marks over it. Okay, January 29th, 2025, Washington, D.C., USA, an American airline Bombardier CRJ-700 collided midair with a U.S. Army UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. All 67 individuals on board both aircraft perished. That's absolutely terrible. And man, when you see the footage, if you haven't seen it already, which I'm sure you have, but I want to go into it because there's also other stuff around it which is just peculiar. You can't tell me, I don't think anybody could watch this and hand on heart say there was nothing odd about what happened. Okay, take a look.
First video, the Black Hawk can be seen flying at speed over the Potomac from the left side of the screen. The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport before the two collide, causing a mid-air explosion and fall into the river. In the second video, you can see the Army helicopter and American Airlines plane travel toward each other. After the collision and subsequent explosion, the airliner can be seen spinning into the water, and the Black Hawk is also seen falling into the water.
It legit looks like it's just going straight for it. It's like a kamikaze. It just looks like that.
Hey, Army veteran here. I was stationed in an aviation unit, more specifically a Black Hawk unit, and I've got questions because the math is not mathing on this Black Hawk hitting into the airplane incident. First and foremost, where were the crew chiefs? Every pilot has at least one crew chief. Most of the time there are two. So if there were two crew chiefs on that helicopter, plus the pilot, 3 people didn't see the plane? Also, it was a night mission. Each one of those crew chiefs would have been wearing night vision goggles, which highlights everything in the sky. So 3 people, 2 sets of night vision goggles, didn't see the big flashing plane? Also, Black Hawks have radar. They can tell if a missile is coming towards them, so their radar didn't show the big blinking plane on it. As someone who's been a passenger on Black Hawks more than 10 times in my career, the one thing that I can tell you is super consistent is the communication between the crew chiefs and the pilot. That never stops throughout the whole flight. So you are never, ever going to convince me that this was just an accident. I am convinced that something very bad happened up there and there was some type of hijacking. And of course I'm speculating. There's literally nothing to prove what I'm saying, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense otherwise.
There you go. You've got a lot of tech on that thing. I think these also can be flown autonomously, right? So without a pilot, these things could be flown. So, but also we have found out that who this woman is, and there was also 2 other individuals on the plane as well.
The Army just released the pilot's name of the Black Hawk helicopter that collided with the American Airlines flight 2 days ago, and her name is Rebecca Lobach. Rebecca was one of the 3 soldiers that passed away in the collision with the American Airlines flight a few nights ago, and she was only 28 years old. Rebecca was a White House aide to Joe Biden when he was in the White House, and then joined the Army as an aviation officer in July of 2019. She had been awarded the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, and the Army Service Ribbon. Now, we knew the name of the other 2 soldiers on the Black Hawk helicopter relatively soon, but her family asked that the Army not release her name until they were ready. They said in a statement, "We are devastated by the loss of our beloved Rebecca. She was a bright star in our lives. Rebecca was a warrior and would not hesitate to defend her country in battle." Lobach was from Durham, North Carolina, and she enlisted in the National Guard back in college in 2018.
Now, I know that helicopters aren't the most agile things in comparison to like a jet fighter plane, you know? But I've seen them move. I've seen them sway, quick, stop. Like, you know, they're pretty nimble. The thing that people are talking about as well is that the Black Hawk had a call sign of PAT 25, which basically means priority air transport, okay? However, there was no records of any priority people on that helicopter. Okay, listen to this.
I'm telling you right now, they can kill me for saying it, but under no circumstance is a military helicopter, especially a fucking Black Hawk, gonna accidentally crash into a commercial plane. Like, there's no way. And get this, the call sign on the helicopter was PAT 25. That means priority air transport. So what's on that helicopter, you know? Obviously something's not adding up here.
The other strange thing as well is apparently this helicopter was flying at the wrong altitude. I think it was like 200 meters too high. So what was it doing? And get this, this is where it goes even more crazy.
What is going on? Look at this. Just 24 hours before the American Airlines flight 5342 collided with the Black Hawk military helicopter at Reagan National Airport, another separate American Airlines flight had to abort landing due to a helicopter crossing its flight path at the same exact airport. This was American Airlines flight 4514, and as you can see here, it can be seen on radar having to go around and make a second attempt to land because a helicopter was in its flight path. This just adds more to all of the questions people have as to what really happened last night in DC at Reagan National Airport.
Was this helicopter just lingering around waiting? But the thing is, what the people that were on this plane, was it 67 casualties on that plane? Weren't they like ice skaters, something like that? Let me just try and find that out. So yes, there were figure skaters on this plane. So you've got 3 pilots from the Air Force with individuals from figure skating. The helicopter had PAT 25, priority air transport. There was no accounts of anybody in importance on there. It's just so peculiar, right? But jumping on to the next peculiar thing, what happened there, listen to this, okay? There's a couple of names here, right? I'll show you the screen because I can't for the life of me pronounce them. Evgenia Shilvok. Yeah, I'm not going to try, right? These esteemed Russian pair who won the World Figure Skating Championships in 1994 were aboard the flight. They had been coaching in the United States and were returning from the development camp, all right? You've got Angela Yang and Sean Kay. These talented 11-year-old ice dancers were among the victims. Members of the Ice Skating Club of Boston, 6 members, including 2 teenagers, lost their lives in the crash. Right? Horrible, terrible. My condolences goes out to the families, the friends. It's absolutely terrible. But this is where it gets a little bit more like it gets strange. We've gone from the technical size. The helicopter was flying 200 foot too high. It seemed like maybe it was lingering around. All of the tech, the night vision, the other 2 individuals that should be looking out, the lighting. I mean, this video here, before we get into the next weird thing, this should explain, because this is such a good video. Listen to this.
DC crash, accident, or something more? On the 30th of January, a military helicopter from the north collided with a landing airliner.
Pass 25, traffic just off the Wilson Bridge to CRJ at 1,200 feet, start runway 33.
These were the warnings to that helipad to 5.
Pass 25, get the CRJ inside.
They were told to pass behind the airliner. The pilot in the helicopter had apparently acknowledged the calls from ITC, but the crash still happened. It was reported that the heli had been confused with an outgoing plane. This led it to turn early and hit the incoming plane. Even so, many say that it should have been still too obvious, as the plane lights are extremely easy to spot at night. Furthermore, the flight path of the helicopter was odd. It moved in an S-shaped pattern near the airport. The helicopter was also 100 feet higher than supposed to, intercepting the final approach of the airliner. So do you think it is an accident or something more?
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump onto something super weird, but then also I'm going to give a possible explanation of certain things and a couple of ideas, okay? But take a listen to this. This is mad. This is absolute madness, okay? The plane crash happened on the 30th. This lady here made predictions for 2025 on the 29th. A day before. Listen to this.
Hi everyone, I've been away for quite a while, but I do have a couple of predictions for 2025. The first ones that I'm going to start with are to do with aviation. So I have two predictions regarding planes. The first one I get is a commercial plane. There's a lot of people on board and there's a lot of people affected by it. It's basically some sort of surprise attack on a commercial airplane. It's like, I keep getting the feeling that it's an inside job, as in that it's someone who is on board and inside the plane, or someone who works for the airline is somehow involved in this, or possibly an airport worker. The second thing that I keep getting from it is that it's a man-made disaster, so it's done intentionally. It's the plane's actually targeted. It's not some sort of malfunction.
I know, right? Carry on. Wait, it gets more crazy.
That happens. The second one is, I keep seeing some sort of small plane, like military or private jet, and it's got a very important couple on board. I feel like one of them.
Now, fair enough. She was talking about two different things here, right? We got two important people. The important people that I've just sort of connected with maybe could be the Pat 25, or it could be, obviously, she carries on to say in a second, but the individuals, these figure skaters on this plane. But I think she's talking about two different planes here. Well, she is, but...
Is connected somehow to technology. Like there's some sort of business tycoon, if you like. And they're like a champagne lifestyle. They like the finer things in life. And they like to actually go out partying. I also get this couple have a celebrity-like following, like a big following on social media, quite successful on there. So it would be household names. People would know who they are as soon as they read the headline. I'm not sure which one comes first. I keep feeling as though it's going to be the commercial liner, the passenger plane, that's first, but it could flip. I just see the two of them, so I don't know which one's first, but I do feel like, possibly the month of February will be one of them at least.
God. So we've got, it potentially could be an inside job. It potentially could have been an accident. There's two other things that I think that might have possibilities. One, I'm probably stretching quite a bit, but I want to tell you anyway. And it was odd because it's not so much about this particular event. It's more so about what's happening as a whole, okay, in the FAA, the airspace, okay. I remember when I saw it, all this going on, I thought, wasn't there an article that I read a while ago, or a video that I saw a while ago, about quality control on aeroplanes? And I couldn't remember, and I tried finding it. Now given this is more so about the Boeing plane, all right? But it says here, former Boeing employees warn production defects ignored by company and US aviation regulator put passengers at risk. So what's been happening is the workers, the people that are in charge of the quality control, are seeing issues on planes. Now again, I have to repeat, now this is a Boeing, right? It's not to do with the planes which are falling from the sky, but it's quite an eye-opener. This was back in, what was it now? January 29th, 2024. So a year ago, they were talking about quality control issues. Their culture is all about speed and production and getting aeroplanes out the door. And any issues, any concerns that bring it up are going to slow them down. So they're like, we don't want to hear it. Make it, do it, get them out, ship them out. Now, if this is happening with like the Boeing, is this sort of mentality happening with other plane developments? It's just an idea. And also, I want to show you this quickly as well, because I think that a lot of people are panicking about what is going on in the sky at the moment. Why so many, right? So I did have to try and find, okay, we've had 10 this month, right? Now, in January 24, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 instances of crashes, plane crashes. February 1, March 3, May 1, July 2. Okay, then we're going into 2023. Quite little there. January 1, February 1, June 1, July 1, September 2, October 2. And we do, this is from 1982 all the way down to 2019. Now this is the number of crashes. Now I don't want to scare you, but this actually, in comparison, if you think about how many flights happen day after day, 365 days of the year, this is actually really quite minimal, and it gets even less as time goes on, right? You've got, in 1982, 3,592. They go down a lot more as the years go on. Now this one's so low in 2019 because the records hadn't finished then, all right? But what I'm trying to get at is they do happen. Plane crashes do happen a lot. 10 in a month around the world? That's quite high. That is quite high, and it's quite concerning. So it's just something I wanted to show you, just to say, look, it is odd that a lot of planes are crashing, but it does happen. The other thing that I wanted to show you, this video popped up late last year, okay? Way before these crashes have happened. But maybe this has got something to do with it. Take a listen to this.
There's something strange going on in the sky as airlines and pilots are on high alert due to GPS spoofing, a new form of electronic warfare messing with navigation systems. Over 1,100 flights a day are now facing fake GPS signals that can confuse cockpit systems and put pilots on edge. Pilots report everything from clocks resetting to false pull-up commands, all while flying through some of the world's busiest air corridors. Although there haven't been any major incidents so far, the risks are rising. Airlines and regulators are scrambling to find fixes before something serious happens.
That might explain a lot of what's been happening in the month of January. It could be a mixture of GPS spoofing. It could be a mixture of quality control. It could be just one of these unfortunate things that happen. But I think that when it comes down to this particular one in Washington, something's odd there. Something doesn't add up. And I'm sure that one day we'll get into the bottom of it. Okay, guys, that is it for me today. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it. But in the meantime, look after yourself. Thank you so much. Let us know what you think. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.